The purpose of establishing higher institutions is to provide rational explanations and meanings to society, shape new individuals through teachings, and create new possibilities through research. The tertiary institution contributes variety of resources, skills such as research, teaching, and training opportunities as well as cultural and social activities to aid development. In this special report, Quest Charles Kosipre takes a dive into the recent production of fuel-less generator by the Delta State Polytechnic Otefe Oghara and its meaning to Delta State. Power generation and supply has been a major challenge to Nigeria for many years, and the Delta State Polytechnic Otefe Oghara took it on itself to invent a fuel-less generator that will save Nigerians the cost of buying fuel to generate their own power for their homes and businesses. Costing money and time as well as other resources, the Polytechnic committed to solving the power problem for not just Oghara community where it is located, but Delta State and probably Nigeria as a country. The rector of the Delta State Polytechnic Otefe Oghara, Professor Emmanuel Biri, threw more light on the innovation which took about 2 years to actualize.
There was a need to set up a committee or commission a body of experts, innovators from the School of Engineering and other innovation thinking individuals. I set up that committee. I gave them a single task. Task one. The task is that in short time, we shouldn't be relying on public power supply. Get us an alternative source of power, which should deviate from the convention or tradition. In essence, it should not be biofuel driven. It should not be solar, because that is almost a norm. It should not be gas turbine, it should not be hydrogen. And get us a system that could be rare or would have been heard of, that has a kind of a working symbiotic mechanism that can work effortlessly and reliably. So they went to work. The committee was headed by the dean, or is still headed by the dean of engineering, Engineer Colin Onimi Yemofe. So they worked, and we funded them in millions.
The prototype fuel-less generator is noiseless and can run for 21 hours non-stop. It has been presented to the State Commissioner for Higher Education, awaiting that of the State Governor.
We actually have several things we're working on, but this is the first one that came up. So they came about 2-3 months ago and presented it. We have also asked the dean to rerun it, so it's been running and we've not had any fault. So as it is, it's a prototype of 2.5 kVA. It runs seamlessly. It's not patented yet, but it has mechanisms that work on the realm of symbiotic relationship that can also charge or be charged with alternative source of power, and that we can control with Internet of Things, with telephone. We said we needed a noiseless one that can also charge or be charged with alternative source of power. So the commissioner came, but we introduced the latent purpose of the generator. The place was filled up, so we talked about the generator and it powered. The journalists were there, several journalists were there, and it ran throughout the ceremony. We allowed it to run, and it's been running is programmed as it is to run for 21 hours before we can put to hibernation, just to rest. Recently, we partly showcased, I use the word partly showcased, because we are yet to officially present it to His Excellency, the Governor of the state, His Excellency Elder Sheriff Orewori Francis. However, we did the presentation before the Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education, my Oga of many years, Professor Nyero Tunukare.
Earlier, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Delta State, Comrade Churchy Oyowe, pledged the union support to the institution and others that will come up with innovations that will solve challenges facing the society.
If you go to universities and polytechnics, you will see engineers as professors, depending on public power supply, and crying that we don't have light. NEPA is not producing light, whereas that environment can be turned to a place where they can, on their own, produce electricity. He is a social scientist. He's not a scientist per se, in the sense that the pure applied science. But he has been able to ginger that environment to do something remarkable for this country. Is that where it should end? That's why we are here. To know the next step. To see how we can help him and that environment to bring in stakeholders' attention, particularly government, to see how they can help him in the mass production of that gadget.
This innovation has the potential of a made in Delta State when presented to Nigeria, and made in Nigeria when presented to Africa and the world. Charles Kosipre for Quest News.